Christian Horner lost his empire, and now he wants it back, but Toto Wolff just ambushed him with a £448 million roadblock in the ugliest war in modern motorsport. Formula One is often portrayed as a friendly competition where the best engineers win on Sunday, but the reality is a corporate bloodbath. Back in 2023, an investment group led by Otro Capital bought a 24% stake in the Alpine F1 team for £172 million. By March 10, 2026, Alpine is struggling on the track, yet that same stake is valued at £448 million, which is roughly $600 million for a midfield team that barely finishes races. Christian Horner was forced out of Red Bull in July 2025, and many assumed his career was over. Horner quietly assembled a billionaire fund to buy that Alpine stake and force his way back into the paddock, with Alpine executive Flavio Briatore confirming the negotiations. The plan was a clean transaction where the exiled leader buys his own team to defy his former employers. Toto Wolff did not just hear about Horner's secret plan, as the Mercedes boss decided to hijack it entirely. Wolff launched a substantial counterbid for the exact same 24% stake because spite is the most profitable emotion in sports. This situation goes beyond outbidding a rival and acts as corporate strangulation. Last year, Alpine stopped making their own engines, as confirmed by Renault F1 official announcements. They signed a deal to use Mercedes power units until 2030, according to a Formula One official press release, meaning Mercedes already had a strong presence in the French garage. When Horner tried to buy the minority stake, Wolff realized he could lock his longtime enemy out of the sport forever by simply buying the shares and shutting the door. Wolff is less interested in fixing Alpine and more focused on keeping Horner out of Formula One entirely. The pitch to the FIA involved saving a struggling manufacturer, while the reality was a targeted block on a rival's career progression. Personal vendettas are often disguised as strategic business investments. Wolff knows that owning 24% gives Mercedes major leverage within the team, allowing them to control voting rights and dictate the future. This move permanently exiles the man who caused them severe difficulties during their well-documented feud in the 2021 F1 season. Weaponizing an $850 million Australian dollar asset to block a single person demonstrates an extraordinary level of corporate arrogance. Many watch the races assuming the focus is entirely on the drivers, while billionaires treat the sport like a private casino. If this backroom maneuvering frustrates you, subscribe to this channel for more independent analysis. We ignore the PR statements issued by F1 media and press to expose how large corporations manipulate the sports fans follow. The reality of the paddock is consistently more complex than the popular documentaries suggest. The mechanics of this current transaction show exactly how the system operates behind closed doors. The concept of the independent constructor is currently under severe threat in Formula One. If Mercedes buys this stake, Alpine ceases to be a true independent team and essentially becomes a Mercedes sister operation. McLaren boss Zak Brown has criticized the sister team model for years, and this engine deal, combined with equity ownership, crosses a clear regulatory line. It means Mercedes gets 4 cars on the grid, 4 votes in strategy meetings, and the ability to shift wind tunnel budgets around. Red Bull ran a very similar system with AlphaTauri for 4 seasons. Wolff spent years complaining about Red Bull owning 2 teams, yet he is now attempting to buy his own secondary team. Teams often complain about fairness when losing, but build monopolies as soon as they have the advantage. The death of independent racing is being sold to the highest bidder under the disguise of strategic investment, while the FIA maintains absolute silence. The financial valuation jumped from $170 million to $851 million in 3 years, while the team built a slower car and fired half their staff. The value is no longer in the racing, as Formula One operates like a closed system that refuses to let new teams like Andretti enter the sport. This artificial scarcity meant the existing teams watched their net worth explode overnight. Otro Capital bought an asset in 2023 that they are now auctioning to 2 rivals who despise each other. Horner needs the stake to regain his status as a team boss and avoid becoming a civilian outside the sport. Wolff does not actually need the equity, as his primary goal is ensuring Horner does not acquire it. Fans are left to watch Alpine become a rolling billboard for Mercedes power units. A historic French brand is reduced to blocking race leaders under blue flag conditions to serve the interests of Mercedes management. The sport built on engineering brilliance has turned into a hostile takeover simulator. The billionaires bought your sport, stripped it for parts, and sold it back to you at a premium. If that reality infuriates you as much as it should, like and subscribe. I'll keep bringing the receipts. The fallout from this March 2026 bidding war could fracture the entire grid permanently. If Toto Wolff successfully uses the Mercedes bank account to buy Alpine and block former team principal Horner, a dangerous new precedent is established. Every engine supplier might immediately demand equity in their customer teams. Ferrari could attempt to swallow Haas entirely, while Mercedes absorbs Williams, and Audi looks for a second victim right after their first car debuts. The independent midfield will be erased forever, leaving 3 mega-corporations controlling all 22 cars on the grid. The budget cap was supposed to save the sport and make everything fair, but it just forced billionaires to fight their wars in the boardroom instead of the wind tunnel. Fans pay higher ticket prices and TV subscription fees to watch a manufactured competition where results are influenced by corporate voting rights. Horner is fighting for his career survival, and Wolff is protecting his territory. But the ultimate collateral damage is the sport itself. Formula One is actively transforming into a closed financial instrument where historic racing teams are traded like regular stocks, replacing pure racing with corporate maneuvering.